Welcome to the Unschooling the Mind podcast, where we unravel all of the beliefs and deep conditioning that has been programmed into our mind through decades of infiltration by institutions, media, and governments of whom we no longer trust. In an attempt to heal ourselves and free our children from the same circumstances, we bravely face the rabbit holes that we have been incessantly warned not to explore. My name is Tasha Fishman, and I was a regular Matrix mummy, previously trapped on planet mind control like everyone around me, until the absurdity of the 2020 mandates and public health measures which hit the school system. I took my kids running and never looked back. Unschooling them and myself has led to a new reality. I was forced to shed my old beliefs and birth a new version of myself, a former recovering people pleaser all the way to the Canadian trucker convoy. I didn't know this was in the cards, but here I am today as an unschooling advocate, public speaker, and the founder of the International Unschooling the Mind private community. My life is unrecognizable today, but I wouldn't change a thing. So let's get into it, friends, and unschool our minds together. Okay, and welcome to another episode of Unschooling the Mind. I just decided that I'm going to come on here and do a few riffs once in a while by myself. It's not all about awesome interviews with great guests like I had Jason Christoff and last week, but just some thoughts that come to mind. So I want to just talk about the Cabal curriculum. And what I mean by that, it's actually quite funny. I have a younger brother who was making fun of me back in 2020 because we were viewing the world very differently. And, during my awakening, I was going off a lot on my family about like, can't you see? Look what's going on. Oh my goodness. And, he said, one day you're going to have a talk show, and you can call it Cabal Corner. And he laughed and he laughed. And I was so offended in the moment, right? I was so annoyed because he was making fun of me. But, it's kind of funny when you look at it today, the Cabal Corner. But I often refer to curriculum as the Cabal curriculum. And so one of the biggest fears that parents have, and I certainly had it myself, is the future tripping that your child will become a, basement dwelling porn addict for the rest of their lives if you pull them out of school, and that school is synonymous with success, which couldn't be furthest from the truth. But it takes a while to unhook and deprogram from these mind control programs that have been set in stone since we were kids in order to keep us, on the Matrix timetable and serving the system. But, when we start to question everything that's happened in the last 4 years, when we realize that we can't trust the institutions that have raised us, when we realize that we've been betrayed on such a deep level, and we have been our whole life, not only just lied to, or that information has been kept from us, but that it has been purposely socially engineered in a way to keep us dumb, sick, ignorant, and dependent. And now it's culling season. So when you put all of that together, and then you have this irrational fear that pulling your child out of school is going to somehow make them a failure, or how are they going to get into university, which is a big one that parents ask. I certainly did too, not making fun of anyone here. Just stating the facts that I am in a very different place today. I actually pray that my kids do not want to go to university. But I also wonder how long universities actually have, like considering that they are complicit in the mRNA technology, that there's all sorts of foreign funding going on with protests between manufactured wars that is being unveiled and enlightened to the world. I just, like my friend, Dr. Roger Hodgkinson says, it's the worse it is, the higher you go, the worse it is, and so we need to turn off the spigot, he would always say. The money it's all about the money. It has nothing to do with education and indoctrination. And the higher up you go, the more, susceptible you are to indoctrination. So when people are afraid of what are my kids going to do, if I pull them out, they need these things. Well, let's break it down. What do they actually need? Because if the current regime or the powers that ought not be can lie this badly about current events on mainstream government funded media and other sorts of media and propaganda, how much have they lied about the past? Like, do you actually trust a history book anymore? I mean, I know there's the whole thing about his story. It's his story. Well, of course, it's the winners, right, that write the books and stuff, and they write it the way. But when you see someone like Castro, Trudeau, right, literally saying that to Canadians that he never mandated it, that there was always a choice, completely gaslighting all of us that were kicked out of society for however long that was, a year and a half, couple years, you realize that they're already trying to change the narrative. So when you think about school and you understand and you've researched and you realize that it's the same ruling class elite families who came together, business and industry, to create public school, government run school, seemingly free for a reason, to dumb down the masses, to keep control of them, to ensure that there's no mobocracy, that's in their words, and to protect their interests. You realize that all of the curriculum is just to create reflexive, obedient followers. It's not to say there's not some interesting information in there, but information is different than knowledge, right? It's loaded with information and useless facts and all sorts of ways for you to jump hoops and get the gold star reward and, show your virtue signaling and your compliance to the oath to the system, to the flags of the day. But it's true, though. The same cabal who's waging a war against humanity has also been the ones that have chosen and purposefully put in certain curriculums. And we as parents are all worried about curriculum. Oh my gosh, they're going to be dumb. They're going to be basement dwellers. They're going to be losers if they don't adhere to this curriculum, if they don't learn the physics. What about physics? What about science, Tasha? What about math? Well, math and language, science, they're just tools that humans use in order to find out something about something they're interested in order to do something that lights them up. They have to use these tools to get there. It's pretty easy, actually. Learning is actually very natural and very easy if we allow, like seedlings in a garden, to just grow. We water, we nurture, we love it. We can actually see the growth in our kids. We don't need to force curriculum down their throat. I mean, do we trust their social studies? Their history? I mean, I don't know about the guy on Joe Rogan, the actor Terrence, whatever his name is, talking about how the Newtonian principle of gravity and the E equals MC squared, all of the principles are based on a lie, basically, according to what he's saying. Now, I don't trust Hollywood actors. I don't trust huge, even alternative media accounts. I think we are shown things for a reason. They allow us to see certain information, unless you're just a regular mama like me or papa, and you're being censored daily on different platforms. I have a hard time really trusting, the big major platforms, like even Rogan. He's got the third eye on his face. I don't know. It's just, I just take it all with a grain. But more importantly, what it was proving is that it would only take one other theory to disprove that our entire reality has been a lie. Like for me, it was COVID. COVID showed me and opened the gates to a new reality, showing me that I was living in a false reality, a false paradigm of safety and honesty and integrity that I thought was in the world. I thought I was free. I thought I was a free Canadian. I thought I was educated. I thought I was intelligent, making my own decisions on my own. No idea that I've been set up, So yeah, I just wanted to touch on that because it is one of the big fears that I had to confront within myself and unpack and unschool in my own mind. It is one of the big fears that when I speak publicly, parents come and talk to me immediately. They're concerned about, well, what curriculum should I put them in? Where do I need to put them? I'll pull them out of here, but then what? Where do I put them? What do I give them? What do I force on them to learn? What do they need to know so that they don't fall behind? Right? These are all constructs. They are all concepts. It's not reality. No one's falling behind anyone. Standardized testing is a joke. It was invented by the same people that have pulled this medical genocide off, the same ruling class elite families, to ensure that there was no more chiefs to Indians. That is a quote from them in their manifestos in the early 1900s. Okay, so when we start to connect the dots and realize we've been duped in the last 3 generations of life, that it's become embedded into our DNA and that we haven't questioned a thing, and we understand and start to unravel this, we can look at something like curriculum and say, I don't think we need any of this. We'll learn math when we need to learn math, and we'll learn science when we need to learn science, and we'll learn life as we go along. And when that time comes, we'll know. Our kids will know, and they will present to us when the time comes that they need to learn more or do more. But for now, with what's going on in the world, in my opinion, the only thing that kids need to know is how to handle tyranny when it comes to its front door. Yeah, that's what I think. That's what I think that we need to show our kids. What do you do when you have a tyrannical government and technocrats and society that wants to impose its will on you? How do you become more sovereign? How do you go back to basics? How do you pivot 100% your life and become the strongest, highest version of yourself so that you can face this? It's not easy. That's what's important. Not curriculum. Connection. Connection over curriculum. Forget the cabal curriculum. Connection. That's what we want to maintain with our kids. That's what's going to bring us the highest joy. That's what's going to help win this war. Strong families, strong connection with our kids, strong communities. So that's my little rant. I hope you all have a great week. I've got a guest coming on tomorrow, the producer of In Sheep's Clothing. Very excited to have her on, so look for that. And remember, connection over curriculum. Have a good one, guys. Bye. Thank you so much, friends. If you like the content that I am producing amongst a sea of censorship, please like, review, and share. If you are looking for support to pull your kids from the system and start your own Unschooling the Mind journey with an international online community of like-minded souls who are doing the same thing as you, head over to my website at tashafishman.com for all the details. To create strong communities right where you are, it starts with you. Thank you. Clear eyes, open heart, can't lose. See you next time.